This is a Squiz podcast. We're your shortcut to being informed.
Squiz Kids! It's your daily news fix. Fun, free, fresh.
Hello and welcome to Squiz Kids Today, your fresh take on what's happening in the world around you. I'm Bryce Corbett. It's Wednesday, September 14. In Squiz Kids Today, wet summer on the cards, the family on the trip of a lifetime, fake Queen memes revealed, and Baby Yoda is back. That's what's making news, kids style.
The lowdown.
Okay, are you sitting down for this? Are you somewhere comfortable, surrounded by people who can pick you up when you fall to the floor, sobbing uncontrollably? Because yesterday, the Weather Bureau confirmed the wet weather system La Niña will be back this summer for the third year in a row. I know, right? I mean, how many days of rain, how many potential floods, how many sandbags is one country expected to have to fill? What's La Niña, I hear you ask? It's Spanish for little girl, but it's also the name given to the weather phenomenon that brings lots of rain. Those of you with good memories will remember we were in the midst of a La Niña summer earlier this year, when a good part of the east coast of Australia was under floods. The bad news? This is only the third time in 120 years that Australia has experienced 3 summers of back-to-back La Niña wet weather. What a time to be alive. The good news? Forecasters are saying that it will hopefully be short-lived, meaning that while it will be wet, it hopefully won't be wet for long. Either way, the city of Brisbane is taking no chances, with the Lord Mayor yesterday announcing that sandbags would start to be made available to city residents from this coming weekend. Now, where did I put those floaties of mine?
Spin the globe.
Each day we give the world globe a spin and find a news story from wherever it stops. And today we've landed in Indonesia, where a Canadian family of 6 has also just arrived. Now, that doesn't sound very special. I mean, lots of families go on overseas holidays. But 3 of the 4 kids in this particular family have been diagnosed with a rare, incurable eye condition. In a nutshell, by the time they are 30, they're very likely to be blind. So, their parents decided to make the most of every second of full vision their kids have and stuff into that time as many visual memories as possible by taking an epic year-long adventure around the world. So far, they've been on a road trip in Africa, gone hot air ballooning in Turkey, ridden reindeer in Mongolia, and much, much more. The kids' parents say they want to fill their children's heads with the best, most beautiful images they can. I've put a link to their Instagram account in your episode notes so you can follow along on their adventures and maybe send them a message of support from the Squiz Kids in Australia.
Pop Culture Corner.
Big eyes? Check. Cute long ears? Check. An ability to move objects using the Force? Check. Baby Yoda is back with a whole new series where he gets to show why he's the cutest little critter in the entire universe. There was a big Disney convention in America over the weekend when the TV and movie studio released previews of upcoming streaming series and big screen releases. And lovers of all things Star Wars will be rattling their lightsabers in excitement at the news that a 3rd series of The Mandalorian, starring Baby Yoda, will soon be with us. And if that's not your speed, maybe a remake of The Little Mermaid is more up your C channel. Grammy Award-winning pop star Halle Bailey plays Ariel in the live-action remake, which is due to hit cinemas next year. Can't wait that long? Don't worry, I've stuck a link to the trailer of it in today's episode notes. And yes, of course, there's a trailer link in there too to The Mandalorian. You're very welcome.
Newshounds.
There's a lot of news around about the Queen at the moment, and that might just be the understatement of the year, as websites, TV channels, newspapers and radio all dedicate enormous amounts of coverage to the death of Britain's monarch, Elizabeth II. But as with every large news event, there's also misinformation. Lots of misinformation circulating, especially online, all of which has had Squizzy the Newshound's nose twitching overtime. Now, as you know, Squizzy spends his days sniffing about the internet looking for fishy stories, and this week he stumbled upon a doozy. A video is doing the rounds of social media, showing a woman dressed in clothes from the olden days, with small children scrambling around at her feet. The caption on the video claims it is old footage of the Queen, throwing food on the ground for poor kids in Africa to scramble for and eat. The post claims this is evidence that the Queen treated African kids with disrespect. And 2,200 people have reshared the post, while 5,500 people have liked it. But Squizzy knows to stop, think and check before believing everything he reads on the internet. And by checking, he was able to discover that the video is not of the Queen at all, but of an unknown woman from the year 1900, so long before the Queen was even born, and in a country called Indochina, which is now Vietnam, and about as far away from Africa as you can get. The moral of the story? Be careful when you're out there in the wild west of the internet. Always stop, think and check. And if you're keen to find out more about Squizzy and our upcoming media literacy program for primary school kids, hop on over quick sticks to squizkids.com.au/newshounds. I've stuck a link to that and to the fake Queen video in today's episode notes. Ah, yes, it's that time of year again. The September school holidays are just around the corner, and that means we'll be taking a little break. This Friday will be our last episode of Squiz Kids Today for a couple of weeks, as I take my family on an exciting little adventure across the ditch to New Zealand. Can't wait. But I know how much you're going to miss me, so I've gone and recorded a bunch of super cool school holiday kids versus adult quizzes to be released every Saturday of the holidays, so you can test to see who's smarter, kids or adults. Together with all of our excellent Squiz Kids Shortcuts episodes and every episode we've ever recorded of Squiz the World, where we take you on an audio excursion to a different country each week, the quizzes are available to all our valued Apple subscribers. Simply search Squiz Kids in your podcasting app and click on Give Me More, or follow the link in today's episode notes to a free 7-day trial.
Time for the quiz.
This is the part of the podcast where you get to test how well you've been listening. Question number 1. What's the name of the TV series that stars Baby Yoda? Yeah, that's right, it's The Mandalorian. Question number 2. A Canadian family on the trip of a lifetime have just arrived in which neighbouring country just to the north of Australia? Yeah, that's right, it's Indonesia. Question number 3. In Spanish, La Niña means what? Yes, that's right, it means little girl.
Shout-outs.
It's September 14. Today is National Cream-Filled Donut Day in the United States. I swear they have the best holidays. It's also National Food is Medicine Day, which is all about the dangers of bad nutrition in the United States. I kind of feel like those two cancel each other out. It's also a special day for these Squiz Kids celebrating a birthday today. Jaden from Waitara, Savannah from Cairns, Oliver from Roseville, Samuel from Petrie, Oliver from East Maitland, Mohammed and Adrian from Hammond Park, Abby from Lobethal and Amali from Burleigh. And belated birthday wishes go to Nolene and Gabby from Abbotsford and Quandale from Wynnum. And classroom shout-outs today go to Class 5A and Mr. Brophy at St Dimphna's Primary School in Aspley, Class 6D and Miss Drury at Tellara Public School, Class 4-5B and Mrs. Brooks at Braddock Public School, Class 3O and Mrs. Every at Ivanhoe Primary School, and happy birthday to Mr. Swinburne at Freshwater Christian College in Cairns. And special shout-outs today go to Early Start Australia in Perth and Mr. Corbett, no relation, at Rossmoyne Primary School, who both became members of Squiz Kids for Schools via our special Term 4 promo, a link to which is in today's episode notes. Don't forget, if you've got a birthday coming up and you want a shout-out, or if you're after a classroom shout-out, drop us a line at squizkids@thesquiz.com.au. Well, that's all we have time for. Thanks for listening to Squiz Kids today. We'll be back again tomorrow. In the meantime, get out there and have a most excellent day. Over and out.